Alright, so I'm here to talk about uh, my next review. I meant to do more reviews on this channel. I've only done one so far, but I lost my fucking sign-in information and everything, so I just found it again, and it's late at night, nothing to do. So I wanted to do a review on an album that I really like a lot, and I'm just gonna jump into it here. Lamb of God's rap album, Lamb of God, one of my favorite bands, one of my favorite modern metal bands. Um, and this is my favorite album of theirs as well. I mean, I know everyone's all crazy about Ashes of the Wake, and but this is to me a superior album even to that. And if you like whatever you like, but this is my personal favorite. And I've seen a lot of interviews and a lot of talk about it from the band members and everything of when it was being made, about them trying to make it sound more raw and less mechanical and perfect. And I think it does sound a lot more rough, a lot more homemade, I guess, if you will. And to me, that makes it sound awesome. I kind of think it sounds a little more. I guess it's more like an old school sound than all just fresh and clean and perfect, Because when you see the bands live, it's not like that. And this is an amazing band live too. I'm not saying they're bad live or anything. I'm just saying when you hear it live, it doesn't sound like it's done all by machinery, you know. And some CDs nowadays sound that way, but it's just the way it is. But just gonna jump into the tracks. Track one here, The Passing, and In Your Words, Set to Fail, Contractor, Fake Messiah, Grace, Broken Hands, Dead Seeds, Everything to Nothing, Choke Sermon, and Reclamation. Three, about a 11 tracks on this, I guess. Um, I mean, every song on this album just kills fucking every song on here. From the instrumental opening with the passing, and that flows right into In Your Words, which almost goes right into the next song, like perfectly, and is just right in your face with that, right from the get go. And from there, it just gets heavy. I mean, the song Grace has a little bit of a kind of intro, but I mean, this album just kicks ass. I can't say anything bad about it. It's 5 stars out of 5 for me. I mean, maybe someone could find something wrong with it, but I don't. I like every song on the album. I like the way it was recorded to sound more rough and more less perfect and all. I like musically. I think it's awesome. One of their best. It's the same lineup. If you know Lamb of God, you know the guys in the band. You know who they are. It's not one of those bands that's constantly changing lineups. Um, it's the same guys. It's the same amazing musicians. Drumming on this is spectacular. Chris is one of my favorite drummers, probably my favorite. As always, between Willie and Mark, amazing guitar work. Always great guitar work in these songs, both rhythmically and lead wise. All awesome, all fun to listen to, and um, singing wise, Randy's a fucking monster. Just amazing growls, amazing screams, awesome vocal range on this everywhere. It's all over the place. And bass wise, I think this album actually has more bass presence from John than most other albums of theirs do. I think that rawness allowed him to punch through a little more, which is cool for me because I like hearing it. As a bass player, I like hearing the bass player show up in songs. Um, but definitely, I know this album's been out few years now. I know it's no surprise to most guys that what this album is or who this band is. But if you don't know who this band is, you should definitely check them out if you're into like death metal. They are really kind of their own sound. If you ask me, they're not really in a particular genre. They're their own kind of deal to me. They have their own sound, and to them, like certain, every album has its own feel to it from them. So it's not. This doesn't sound anything like Ashes or Sacrament or You know, this is its own album. This is its own thing, just like everything else. And you know, you let's watch the interviews. These guys want to push harder and faster and explore more musically and not repeat the same thing over and over. If you watch them, I mean, I follow this band, and there's a good chance I'll be seeing them live again here soon. Um, because they put on a killer live show, and they almost sound better live, if anything. So if you're a fan of the band and you haven't seen them live and you're ever considering it, if you get an opportunity to see them live, don't pass it up. Definitely go. You know, it'll be totally worth it. It's a true experience, and um, you know, I mean, to me, every album from these guys has been killer. I'm not disappointed with anything I've ever heard from theirs. But this is definitely my favorite album of theirs that they've done yet. Um, if you haven't heard of the band, check out the band. If you haven't heard this album, definitely check it out. But you can check out um, any one of the albums from this band, and I think if you haven't heard them, you'll be fucking blown away. Because the talent in this band musically, everyone in this band is extremely talented. Everyone in this band is um, just amazing. I mean, from the guitars to the drums to the singing to the bass, it's all extreme, like over the top. And I mean, there's not a lot of bad things I can say about the album or the band itself or the music that they put together. Um, if you don't know them, check them out. Most of you that would see this probably do know them, and you know how great they are, and you probably heard this album, and you probably know how fucking kick-ass this album is. But Lamb of God, Wrath, check it out, look it up, buy the CDs, don't download everything, buy the CDs, keep the music alive, and I'll be doing another review here shortly.